Hello, this is Miss Nuttall. Today we want to look at midpoint. So ask yourself, what do you think a midpoint is? And look at the caption below here and think about it. What do you think it is? Read the captions and come up with something. Pause and come up with something. So the actual definition is the point halfway between the endpoints of a line segment is called a midpoint. A midpoint divides a line segment into two equal parts. So if we have line segment AB, the midpoint is, line segment AC, I'm sorry. The midpoint is B, which is smack in the middle of that line segment. So let's look at an example. If we have 7, -7, and then we have 2. And we want to know the midpoint of that line segment right there. That is, if you count, you just count. This is not 1, this is going to be 1 here. You count all the way to 2, that is 9 total. You would take half of that, and that is not your midpoint. That's how far apart you have to go. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5. That means that you're gonna, and you could have counted from the other direction. It still would have ended up right here, which is a -2.5 or -2.5. And that is your midpoint for that line segment there. Let's do one more example. 2 and 4. So if you want to try it yourself and pause the screen before I give you the answer, you can do that. But I'm going to move on. But you can pause. That's 6. And you're going to divide that by 2 again. And that's going to give you 3. And remember, 3 is not the midpoint. But 3 is how many you count. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that ends up here. And you can go from either direction. And so that means this is my midpoint here, which is 1. That's all you have to do for a number line. I put some examples on the next. Okay, so as you can see, I put an example here. The first one is done for you, midpoint of P to Q, which is right here, P to Q. You would count all the way down this way, and they're going up by 4, so that's 4, 8. You would just count all the way to here. After you count, or you can count each little slash, that's by 1s, and then divide that by 2, and then your midpoint, you would count that 4 over, and it would give you the -5, which is right there. So attempt these, and then you can get with your teacher, or I'll put the answers in another slide. So then the last thing we want to look at is a coordinate plane, midpoint on a coordinate plane. It is, if you're doing vertical or horizontal lines on a coordinate plane, they are done just like a number line. You count the distance across, you count back just like we just said. The only difference for these are you have to write the ordered pair for these. So for this point, the x value is 1, that's here. The y value is there. So we'll get to this more in the next video. Thank you.